After 2 days of sailing through the Drake Passage, we have finally made it to Antarctica. So that means we finally get to start doing expeditions and go on land for the first time. So in this video, we are going to be showing you guys all of the excursions that we are doing in our time in Antarctica. So clearly Antarctica is not like other tourist-focused locations that you have some sort of man-made attraction. Everything here is all about the nature. So with HX Expeditions, they have some excursions that you can do. For the ones that are included is pretty much a cruising and a landing. So the boat uses Zodiacs, which are inflatable little boats that they'll take you around so you can cruise around and see all the icebergs, the penguins, the seals, any sort of wildlife that day. The landings are pretty much what they sound like, that you actually get to go on land onto certain areas that they designated are safe to walk and that they won't invade or encroach on wildlife. For the paid expeditions, I believe there's 4 different ones that you can do, and the one that we're doing today is snowshoeing. All the prices on the boat go in euros because it's a Norwegian-based company, but snowshoeing is 89 euro per person, and I think it's about an hour and a half of snowshoeing. Honestly, I don't know what to expect out of this experience. Neither Brendan or I have ever been snowshoeing in our lives, so for it to be Antarctica, the first place to go, I think that we're just gonna have such an awesome time. So let's go snowshoeing.
We are now getting ready for our first real excursion in Antarctica. We've now officially reached land and people are going out for the first time. So we're getting ready to go out and we're trying to prepare with as many layers as we can. We have at least 3 layers on the top and the bottom. They provided everyone with these outer shell jackets, which are really nice. I actually think they look pretty good. And then they also supplied everyone with waterproof boots. Everything else was on us to supply, so hat, gloves, like a neck cover to keep your neck warm, all the other base layers and mid layers that you want. So hopefully this will be enough to keep us warm.
Ah, yes, appreciate it, thank you.
Finally made it on the boat. We got our driver. We got all 6 passengers on the boat.
Private charter.
They can take up to 10. Hey. But we lucked out and all 6 are just on one boat. Pretty spacious. So far, I'm not cold yet, but I think that might change.
I was not expecting to get in the water.
No, not at all. But these are waterproof boots. It's kind of cool.
It is so beautiful. Just got dropped off.
Benson, it's our first step on Antarctica. No, we like it.
We made it.
Oh.
First fall on
You're not supposed to film the snow. I'm sorry.
The sea run. So this is where we should be picking up our snowshoes and starting a little hike.
Let's do it. The boat looks just like a postcard. So unreal. So we just got our snowshoes. Nothing too fancy. I've never put these on, but your feet go, this is the front, this is the back. So it's this and some hiking sticks. And then it's pretty much just like we'll have a guide and then everyone goes in a single file line and follows, and hopefully we'll see some more penguins along the way.
So we are making our way up this hill to a penguin colony, and we'll be able to see another bay on the other side. Right over there is some penguins. Let's see how close we can get.
So we have gone, we haven't even gone that far. I mean, we've gone maybe like a 1/10 of a mile, I feel like, so far. It just takes so long to cover ground in snowshoes. And it's honestly been nice that we've kind of come back from the pack a bit, because if we look out, you can see That is our group of snowshoers. So single file line with the crunching of the snow and the ice, it can sound pretty loud, but they are pretty close to some penguins. I will say that HX and probably a lot of the other cruise ships as well, they come out beforehand and they set flags so people know that that's the closest to wildlife that they can get. So we get close, but within reason. So let's go check out some penguins. We've definitely seen a decent amount of penguins, but these views, they just don't get old.
So now we are walking back to the boat to get us back to the bigger boat. Overall, about an hour experience and was pretty cool. Got super close to the penguins and overall just pretty awesome to walk around on the most remote continent in the world.
So to make sure that you're not transmitting any sort of diseases when you go on shore and come back, they have these boot cleaners. So they keep everything sanitary and nice.
Okay, back to the room, and what a day for our first time out in Antarctica. It was definitely more time than we thought. Probably a total of about 3 hours in boat riding, getting to land, walking around a little bit, snowshoeing, checking out the hut that's there that people sleep at, and it's a historical hut, but people used to do research there, and I think that we were pretty prepared with the clothes that we wore. I didn't get too cold. It was a nice, easy ride back. And anything else to add?
Time for dinner! Let's go eat.
Time for some food, because we worked up an appetite, and we'll see you guys at our next excursion.
So today is a new day, and that means new expeditions for us to do. So originally, the only thing on our agenda today was to do a landing, meaning the Zodiacs would take us onto a new destination today. However, earlier we mentioned that all the expeditions are based off of a lottery system, and one thing that we really wanted to do was camping. So they have an expedition that you get to actually camp in a tent on Antarctica. This, I feel like, had Brendan and I's name written all over it. We entered our cabin number in for the lottery, and we did not get it. We were honestly pretty heartbroken yesterday when we found out that we were not able to go camping, but due to bad weather, they canceled camping, delayed it today. This morning, while we were in bed, we got a phone call saying that somebody at a tent canceled, so they had an availability for 2 people, meaning that Brendan and I are actually getting to go camping in Antarctica. So we are so stoked this morning. It is right now 11 a.m. Everything starts at 8 p.m. tonight, which means we have to get packing and prepared for a night in the Antarctic.
It was so funny because we were honestly just laying in bed and we were actually watching Happy Feet, getting some inspiration after seeing a bunch of penguins yesterday, and we were just gonna take the day easy, but we said yes. We're all signed up for it, and we're right now cruising to our next location, which we don't know exactly where it's gonna be yet. We should be stopping somewhere soon to find out where we're gonna be camping today. We are now getting ready for the exciting polar plunge. So we've got our bathing suits on and we're putting our warm weather gear on top of that because they are taking us for another landing. And I don't know if we're gonna jump in or walk in or what the situation is exactly, but I think everyone's a little bit nervous. We're all gonna try to get into this freezing cold water and we'll see how that goes. Wow. I'm good. Okay, so we just got to land. People are already polar plunging, but we're hoping to do this really long hike to hopefully get us hot and ready for the plunge because it is really freaking cold and I think we're kind of excited, kind of nervous, but there's a lot to see. There's a bunch of penguins and a big climb up to the top, so we'll do that first and then see how we feel about the plunge. Just finished the hike, waiting to go in the plunge, and there is quite the crowd of people watching. I don't know how many people are actually doing the plunge, but we're waiting for the rest of Gabby's family because all 6 of us are going in, and there are penguins swimming with people in the water right now.
All right, let's do this.
Do the
Let's
thing.
do it.
You got it. Come on, girl. All right. Let's go.
Oh, wow. Wow. Here, you take
I'm good. You go. Woo. I'm good. I'm done. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Freezing. I'm freezing. My feet are so cold.
We did it! And I managed to take my bikini off in front of like 100 people and nobody could see me naked.
Oh my god, that was insane. Really quick, just everything went numb in me. I thought I was gonna be able to swim out and touch that iceberg, but immediately my body said no. I will say, I thought that getting out would be colder, but I'm already feeling pretty toasty in my 5 layers of gear.
So we have made it back to the room after cold plunging, and I am pretty happy to be back in warmth. I thought I was going to take the cold plunge a little better, but I'm still so proud that we did it. So now we have about 3 hours until we have to head out for camping. So we're going to use that time to hit up the sauna, hot tub, get some food with us, and then we're going to start prepping for camping after that. So we'll show you everything that we're packing for this camping trip and take you along for the ride.
We have been on this cruise for just about 5 days now, and as crazy as Antarctica's been so far, we are in for our craziest night yet, because tonight we are getting ready for a full night of camping in Antarctica. So we're leaving the comfort of our room here on the cruise ship, packing all of our stuff, and going to land to spend a night on the ice. Now, we have quite a bit of camping experience, some experience in a tent, and obviously we live in an RV, but this is going to be a completely different animal. So we've pretty much packed everything that we could think of that would be helpful for this overnight trip.
So we are bringing a backpack. You're allowed to bring like extra layers and clothes, but in terms of consumables, the only thing you can bring is water. You can't bring any snacks, anything like that. So in here, I would say layers. Like we have extra socks, extra gloves, sweatshirts, sweatpants, just anything to keep us warm. We'll show you guys the entire tent setup, but it should be pretty comprehensive of sleeping bag, sleeping pad, the tent, and everything that we need. And one other thing to mention is the cost of this expedition, because like we mentioned, this boat has cruising and landings included, but this is one of the additional paid landings. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this does hurt for how expensive it is to do, but it's one of those things that once you're out here, you just have to do it. So we originally signed up for Bivy because I would say that's cheaper. It seemed like a good experience, but the tent is 429 euros per person. So literally it's gonna be about $1,000 for one night to stay in a tent on Antarctica. But you know what? I think I'm the type of girl that would spend $1,000 to camp on the Antarctic continent rather than spending $1,000 on a hotel room. So I'm so excited for this experience and this memory. So let's go get our campsite set up.
Getting ready to go on the Zodiacs now. I am so excited to see where we're camping. Walking like a penguin. All right, so Brendan did the job of bringing our sled to what we designated will be our campsite. And in the sled that they provided us, this has everything we need. So this is the backpack of all the clothes that we brought, but then we have our tent, sleeping bags, underneath our sleeping pads. So it's time to get to work and build our home for the night.
flattened out a little section. Let's get the tent set up.
Okay, we now have something that resembles a tent. I gotta say, I was a little embarrassed of how long that took us. We've always, I guess, like when you put sticks in, it makes a shape, you stake it down, but you put sticks in, it wasn't like self-standing. You know, for the first time of like using a self-standing tent and using stakes and snow, I'm gonna give myself a pass, but we'll give you a little tour of the inside if you wanna come. So the tent is officially set up. So you can see we have 1 sleeping bag, 2 sleeping bag. That's Brendan's bag with all of our layers. And we did pack hand warmers, so we're gonna get those started in a bit and then throw those in the bag or in the sleeping bag so that way they're pretty nice and toasty by the time we're planning to crash. But right now it is, let me check my watch. It is 9 p.m. and we still have all of this sunlight outside. So we're gonna go check out the other camping setups. Oh, look, Brendan, our boat's leaving.
And there goes our boat.
That is the official goodbye because they drop you off here and then the boat leaves. So the only way you're leaving this early without spending the night is if it's an absolute emergency. You can't say, oh, I'm too cold, or oh, I don't want to do this. They won't take you back. It has to be a medical emergency, which we don't have any of those, but that's a pretty cool sight to see. Pretty epic camping spot.
Okay, and this is an example of one of the toilets that they have set up for us. There's 3 of them set up. They just dug out this nice little hole and you have a little bit of privacy, but you're still pretty close to the rest of the campers. And you just sit down and this is how it works. And you got your clean toilet paper and a little trash bin. I don't know if we're gonna have to use it tonight, but pretty cute setup.
They were also very strict about only number 1s, no number 2s. They said I don't know if it's illegal, it's against the rules to have any human solid waste on Antarctica. That has to be for tourists because researchers stay out here for months at a time. So we just got briefed by the expedition team. So they gave us a headlamp so we can walk around at night, but the sun doesn't really set here. It supposedly
Yeah, I don't know if
sets
we're gonna need it.
like at midnight, but then sun rises at like 2 a.m. So there's never like a true darkness. It's currently about 10 p.m. We'll probably do a little more exploring, walking around on the rocks here, and then I'm thinking probably by 11.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how much we're able to sleep. Honestly, I feel like we're pretty good sleepers.
We are. I am a good sleeper.
We'll see how it goes, but just in case we need to get to the bathroom, we're gonna work a little bit and making a little bathroom trail for us because we couldn't be further from the toilets, and they said the snow is all really gonna harden overnight and create, you know, a bunch of holes that you could step in. So we're gonna try to make a nicer path. So if we do have to crawl, if we do have to walk through the dark especially, we'll have our headlamp, but hopefully we don't fall in a hole.
Where are you making this? Going to use the facilities for the first time. I kind of have to pee, but I feel like even if you don't, you gotta see what the toilet experience is like, right? Oh no, Brendan!
I almost fell in.
It is not the best freaking view for a bathroom.
I feel like I just need a newspaper.
Bathroom, not too bad.
We were just saying that honestly we're so glad that we're staying in a tent. So for some context, there's 30 tents and then 30 bivvies. And tents are 2 people, bivvies are a single person, and we actually requested the bivvy, one because it was cheaper, but also because it sounded like kind of a cool experience. We haven't slept in a single bivvy sack before, but I think we're really excited to have a little bit of privacy because there are a lot of people in this little campsite, and so it'll be nice to just close our little zipper of our tent and have some privacy on this amazing continent. It is now approaching about 11 p.m. and it hasn't gotten that much darker, but I think we're gonna head back to our tent and try to lay down for a little bit. Okay, we are all tucked in. It was honestly a little bit of a struggle to wiggle all in here. It is so cozy. I feel like I'm gonna sleep pretty well.
I'm so excited to knock out, but we will see you guys at 5 in the morning.
What time is it now?
It's 11:34 p.m.
Okay, made it almost to midnight. Good night. Good morning. So people are starting to get up and pack their tents away. It is 4:55 in the morning. Probably started to hear noises around 4:30. It was actually such a good night. I slept great. Gabby is clearly still sleeping great. Such a pretty morning. It snowed most of the night, so I woke up to a bunch of snow on the outside of our tent as I opened it up. But yeah, just a really cool experience, and I am appreciative to have had this chance to be out here.
We have made it back to our room, and it's a pretty surreal feeling being back here and just like our bed, the comforts of inside, and just looking outside and being like, we just spent the night outside in some extreme conditions and we had the best time. It was just so amazing hearing like the crackling of the sounds of ice, like getting up in the morning, seeing seals and penguins. Just so grateful to have an experience like that, to be able to be in such a beautiful remote place. Immensely grateful. I would do it all over again in a second, but now that we're back, time to get some food and see if we have other expeditions coming up today. So for our last expedition on our Antarctic cruise, we decided to do some sea kayaking. They estimated that you got to go anywhere from like 5 to 8 kilometers, and it lasted about an hour and a half. And it was such a great experience.
My favorite part about it was everyone suiting up in dry suits, because a fun fact they shared is if you fell in the water without a dry suit, you would be dead in 8 to 12 minutes, which is kind of crazy. But when putting on a dry suit, which had really good seals around your wrists, around your neck, full body suit, you'd last about an hour. So it made it significantly safer to be in the water. It wasn't necessarily about like going as far as we could in the kayak. It was more about experiencing the nature around us, going through icebergs, stuff like that. But it was pretty cool to suit up. I felt like an astronaut or something going out on a trek out on the water.
And we did get to see some wildlife. We saw some penguins swimming, but definitely the coolest part was seeing just a seal just chilling on its own little patch of ice, like just relaxing like it's like a couch and it's just a piece of ice out in the middle of the ocean, which was just wild. So the kayak was just so nice to be able to get like up close to wildlife, but in such like a non-disturbing way of being so silent. I don't know, a pretty unique experience. So it definitely was a bit pricey, as every expedition on this boat is, but when in Antarctica. So this expedition, it cost 189 euros per person, so roughly 200 USD per person.
But that is gonna do it for all the activities that we had planned in Antarctica. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We did snowshoeing, camping, and kayaking in that order. So these are the 3 expeditions that we did, on top of also having the ability to do cruisings and landings, to where we got to explore even more of Antarctica, and that was completely included of the price of the cruise. The one other thing that's not listed as an expedition item, but I think kind of counts, is the polar plunge as well. That was freezing. That was so cold. But this was honestly such a jam-packed vacation with so many different experiences. So guys, stay tuned to next week, because we will be doing a recap video and reflections of, was everything worth the true cost?
Yeah, it is hard to get everything into one video, so we still have to make our way back home and reflect on the trip ourselves, but we can't wait to share kind of everything end to end with how everything went.
Guys, if you have any questions, please do drop those in the comment section down below. And thank you for joining this trip with us to Antarctica. And we'll see you back in Florida. We're excited to get home at this point. See you guys next week.